Today, we want to introduce you to the Intex Krystal Clear 26643 sand filter system. This sand filter system is the smallest sand filter system that Intex has in its program. Now, we will explain what you can and what you cannot expect from this item. First, some general technical information. The pump has a power of 190 watts and manages to perform about 1,050 gallons or 4,000 liters water per hour. You can load the sand filter tank up to round about 26 pounds of sand or 18.5 pounds glass media. In circulation mode, which is relevant for heating or shock chlorination, the Krystal Clear sand filter system even manages 1,200 gallons per hour. It is important to note that these values should be understood as approximate values. Depending on the filter medium, the condition of the filter medium or the degree of contamination, the performance can change. Accessories can also have a significant influence on the performance. Attention, this sand filter is not self-priming. You cannot use this sand filter system in pools that are underwater or where the hoses hang over the pool wall. If you have such a constellation, then all Intex sand filters are not suitable for you. This is when this video was released. You can check if Intex offers self-priming pumps by now. Apart from that, it is also important to know that you cannot connect the Krystal Clear to every pool. By default, the system can only be connected to Intex pools with large connections. The connections must also already be available, because Intex does not include them with this sand filter. If you have Intex pools with smaller connections, for example a 15 feet pool or smaller, you will need 2 pieces of adapter B. If, on the other hand, you want to connect normal 1.25 or 1.5 inch hoses, you will need 2 Intex adapters A, item 110849. Now, the question arises in terms of performance. Who needs the sand filter system Intex Krystal Clear 26643, and who does not? 190 watts for a sand filter system? That's good, of course, if you don't want a high electricity bill. Fortunately, that's still enough power to keep small and medium-sized pools clean. We would run pools up to a maximum of 20 cubic meters or 5,300 gallons with this unit. If your pool's capacity is more than 5,300 gallons, you should look for more powerful systems. Nevertheless, we should look at 2 examples. Example 1. Pools with less than 5,300 gallons capacity, but with a lot of power-hungry accessories. Let's imagine that you have a pool with a capacity of 2,000 gallons. But in addition, you use several solar panels on a roof, up to 5 meters in height. Then you need a lot of pressure to bring the water up there. At the same time, the flow rate should be still sufficient to filter the pool. So this sand filter is absolutely not suitable in this example. Also, when it comes to bottom vacuums that use the suction power of the pool pump, the Krystal Clear sand filter system 26643 is not always an option. While you can run the manual Intex bottom vacuum 28003 very well, this is not valid for various automatic bottom vacuums. The Intex 28001, or the Hayward Buggy vacuum cleaner would be incompatible with this sand filter. If you want to use such automatic vacuum cleaners, you need at least the Krystal Clear 26645. If possible, you should even go for the 26647 model. Example 2. Pools with less than 5,300 gallons capacity, but without power-hungry accessories. Such pools benefit from the high power. You can run solar mats lying on the bottom. Also, you can easily operate the manual vacuum cleaner 28003. If the performance is enough for you, there are still some things to consider. First, you should think about which filter material you want to use. Watch our other articles and videos for more. But also, the volume is an issue. Since 190 watts are applied here, 53 dB of average sound level is generated at our measurements from about a little more than 3 feet distance. Please note that the sound level may be higher or lower at your location. Background noise can also cause other measured values. Our practical test values are no laboratory values, and as such, they only serve as a comparison with other sand filter systems. We ourselves find the volume to be reasonable. You can't do much less if you want a sand filter system. However, if you are allergic to sound, you can place the sand filter system in the garden shed, in a shaft, further away from the pool, or further away from your neighbor. If you want, you also can build an acoustic box. For example, if we install the Intex sand filter 20 feet further away, the sound level will already decrease by 5 dB. That is not so little. In our tests, the sand filter system draws about 186 watts of power. That's pretty close to the manufacturer's specification. Are there any downsides? You must work with the internal timer. An external timer with the setting of several intervals is unfortunately not compatible with this sand filter. Now to the continuous use. The tank volume is adequate, and in our experience, the Intex service has almost all spare parts on site, if there should be surprisingly a problem. In order to be able to use this system for as long as possible, and to avoid unnecessary problems, you must however observe our prohibitions. Prohibition number 1. Start the pump without water. The fastest way to scrap this equipment is to not fill the pump with water. If you do not fill the system before using it for the first time, you will destroy the system by causing overheating damage. So, watch out. Prohibition number 2. Abusing the control valve. Over the years, we have probably seen hundreds of pool users who were too lazy to read the instruction manual. The control valve may only be operated when the pump is off. No exception here. If you disregard this prohibition, you risk sand in the pool and a lot of dirt on top of it. It is also possible that the filter performance will decrease noticeably. Prohibition number 3. Wintering wet, in an unsuitable place. If the sand filter system is wintered, it should be tried that the sand filter system winters in a dry place. Try that this dry place is constant above 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Specialists, who are very careless here, can scrap the sand filter by their laziness in the worst case. If you adhere to these prohibitions, you can use this sand filter for many years. Thanks to the extensive range of spare parts available from Intex, even many years after purchase, it is not necessary to completely replace the entire system, if the worst comes to the worst. This is good for the environment and your wallet as well. If the sand filter system fits your needs, we warmly recommend it. For more than 10 years on the market, this is a very mature sand filter system. If you should order the unit, please check after receipt if the connecting hose is broken at the union nuts. Rarely you have to help with a new hose. If you would like to see another sand filter system, you are welcome to take a look at our other articles and videos. Should you decide to purchase this sand filter, we would be happy if you would purchase it via the Amazon link below, as you would support us. The whole process is absolutely free for you and has no disadvantages.